The ultimate financial liberty and autonomy that devolved units so much crave for, and which are all certain would make devolution sustainable. This is the scenario we should now confront and seek to change. We need a funding models for the counties and the role of own source revenue in attainment of the goals and objectives of devolution. As the sub-theme of today's engagement in this conference outlines, namely resourcing devolution for service delivery, to interrogate the approaches deployed in the last 1 decade in financing our devolved sectors, and be ready to embrace new ones that guarantee sustainability and adequacy. The next phase of devolution should accord its own source revenue to be the primary artery for county financing, and exchequer funding the secondary one. In my view, this is what should now constitute the crux of deliberations and collaborative engagements between county governments, the national government, and development partners. Undeniably, this will occasion the need to enhance capacity of devolved units, both in terms of available infrastructure opportunities. This resulted in the exclusion and marginalization of some parts for the culmination of a long quest for reforms to negotiate the social contract by the Kenyan people. The concept of devolution was among the most prominent features that held that same year. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt, therefore, that the purpose and the ultimate goals of devolution were to spur and accelerate Kenya's socio-economic transformation from the grassroots to ultimately at the global stage. In the present political dispensation, this dovetails with the Kenya Kwanza manifesto of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. I am confident that this noble intention will yield great results as county governments play a significant role in their niche as framed by the 5 pillars of our economic, micro, small, and medium enterprise, digital. Dear delegates, ladies and gentlemen, we face daunting challenges in our 10-year devolution journey. We have countless success stories that should serve to inspire and motivate us to redouble our efforts. Dividends of improvements in road networks, infrastructure in our healthcare system, modern stadiums, markets for fresh market produce, and more business and employment opportunities created for Kenyans. While we applaud these commendable achievements, we of challenges that have undermined the full potential of our devolved units. Article 175B of the Constitution envisages availability of adequate funds as a key pillar of the endeavor by devolved units. To this extent, it is anticipated that both the national government and county governments would work in concert to establish reliable sources for revenue for the implementation of. Counties have largely, if not completely, relied on exchequer disbursements for their survival. Own source revenue as a financial lifeline for counties still remains a mirage.
Cabinet Secretaries, His Excellency the Governors, my principals, colleagues of the Senate, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here today to meet and interact with you, honorable members, as we discuss our adequate financing for county governments for efficient services delivery. This meeting is very important as it accords us the opportunity to reflect on the devolution story, having walked the devolution journey for the last 10 years. and I'm glad to be part and parcel of that journey since it started 10 years ago. Let me confess that I'm happy to have the right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga present as the chief of guests today. We know he's the main force behind devolution. Indeed, he is the father of devolution. We owe him a great deal for advocating tirelessly despite facing pushbacks along the way. The last 10 years of devolution have had their fair share of successes. However, concerned by the low rate of absorption of these funds to develop for development purposes. We are all called as leaders to do a better job for our people. And this must philosophy. We should spend the entire allocation on development positively, contribute towards the country's growth and service delivery. Although devolution has brought some success in bringing government closer to Kenyan citizens and advancing development, evidence shows that corruption is a major challenge affecting most county governments. It is indeed my humble appeal that we should expose corruption and fight it out. In conclusion, I want to emphasize that the spirit of devolution in Kenya is not about two levels, but complementing each other for efficient and effective service delivery to the citizens. I urge my colleagues at the Senate not to abrogate their oversight duty in holding the county governments accountable.
Another round of applause for Minority Leader, Senator Matsayo. Next, Assembly Majority Leader, Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, and on his behalf, the remarks will be made by the Deputy Majority Leader, Owen Baya.
The Right Honorable Raila Odinga, distinguished guests, excellent governors, county officials, fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As we gather here today to commemorate a decade of devolution under the theme 10 years of devolution, the present and the future, driving transformation from the local level, we stand at our nation's journey. Devolution has been a cornerstone of our efforts to bring governance closer to the people, empower our counties, and catalyze economic growth from the grassroots up, that is bottom up. It has enabled the circulation of resources and funds at the local level, leading to improved infrastructure, enhanced livelihood. The first time in 10 years of devolution, counties before the closure of the financial year. This speaks volumes of the commitment of the national government to the growth and development of our counties. With this significant stride, better equipped than ever to deliver essential services to the people of Kenya. This achievement underscores the national government's dedication to the welfare of all Kenyans and sets the stage for tangible results. However, this is also a moment that demands greater accountability and transparency from our county leaders. It is imperative that county governors understand that this moment is not an opportunity for mismanagement of personal enrichment. It is a moment to channel resources towards the development of our regions and the empowerment of our citizens. This is not a time for the construction of opulent mansions or their instead, it is a time for governors to uphold the trust that the people have placed in them, to prioritize the needs of their constituents, and to serve with integrity and purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, government has shown its commitment to empowering counties. We must also address the need for a balanced system of checks and balances at the local level. Just as our national parliament operates independently from the executive branch with its own budget, it is time to extend a similar level of independence to our county assemblies. The initiative to grant county assemblies financial autonomy is a vital step towards the oversight role and ensuring that they can fulfill their mandate without fear or favor. By granting county assemblies financial independence, we empower them to exercise their oversight functions in a robust and impartial way. This independence will enable them to hold the county executives accountable for their actions without succumbing to undue pressure or intimidation. It will also foster an environment where transparent governance thrives, is upheld, and where the people's interests are truly served. Ladies and gentlemen, even as we celebrate our achievements, we must confront the shadows that dim our progress. It is with a sense of urgency and responsibility to address the issues of stalled projects and underutilized county projects. Billions of shillings have been poured into initiatives that should have propelled our counties towards prosperity, or worse yet, vandalized because we have a change of a governor. This is a stark reminder that we cannot rest our laurels. We must take action to rectify these shortcomings. The report by the Auditor General paints a concerning picture. We have seen counties spend significant sums of taxpayers' money on projects that lie dormant, lacking the transformative impact they are designed to deliver. These resources are directed towards initiatives that truly uplift the lives of our people and drive holistic development. This situation, ladies and gentlemen, is untenable and calls for a collective effort to reverse the tide of waste and management. Further, politics cast a dark cloud over our development endeavors. The rise of white elephant projects, coupled with the unfortunate practice of abandoning projects due to changing political leadership, serves as a painful reminder of how personal it is of our citizens. We must acknowledge that these actions and
sessions this afternoon. These sessions will focus on food security, pathways to a green economy, youth empowerment, and technology in the health services. Right Honorable ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, let me congratulate all the recipients of Devolution Warrior Awards at yesternight's gala dinner. I am aware that two of my former colleagues received recognition for their commitment and outstanding service to Devolution, and I take this opportunity to thank them for their wonderful contributions to making Devolution work. They were Professor Kivuta Kibwana and former governor of makwiny and former chairperson Governor Isaac RUTO, former governor of Bomet, were awarded as Devolution champions yesternight. To all the recipients of the awards, continue to be Devolution champions. We appreciate you. And as we continue to implement Devolution, both levels of government need to continue consulting, collaborating, coordinating, and cooperating in the performance of our respective functions as assigned by the Constitution. As the good book says, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. A lot needs to be done to lift the lives of millions of Kenyans from poverty, significantly reduce unemployment, and keep the country on a path to socio-economic development. Those of us in leadership positions have been entrusted by the people of Kenya with a singular task of delivering the promises embodied in Article 174 of the Constitution of Kenya. I now would like to take this opportunity to invite Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, to make his keynote address. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. The Chair of the Council of Governors, Governor Anne Waiguru, the Deputy, other governors who are here present today, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Hey, I feel very, very delighted and intimidated. It's fun to be here today. I am happy to come. I was invited to come, and I was reminded that this is the 8th of the summit that we're holding. And I just realized that I have been with you in all the 8 summits that you have held. So I was very happy to come again here today. Now, before I say anything else, I just want to introduce those who have come with me. 2 you have already been introduced. Your immediate former chairman, Governor Wycliffe Ambassador of Paranya, former Governor Kakamega, and Governor Mwangi Wairia. But I'm also here with the former Minister for Defense, the leader of DNA Party, Honorable Eugene Wamalwa. I'm also here with the chairman of Roots Party, Professor George Wajakoya. Those are Wanazimio who have accompanied me to come here. We are all very delighted. And seeing what is in the media today and also seeing what was said yesterday, I wondered what I should term my talk to you today. I looked at all the messages were given yesterday, and I said, maybe, Swahili say, that nyani haoni kundule. That means that baboon does not see his back or his buttocks. So when the baboons are up on the tree, the one which lower down looks at the one which is higher up and saying ngef ngef, and laughs at the other one saying that his buttocks are red. And he does not know that his buttocks are also red. This is what I saw yesterday. And maybe when I talk, you would realize what I mean. It is a pleasure to be here with you today to celebrate a decade of devolution. I want to take this early opportunity to commend the Council of Governors You have been able to find a way around our sometimes toxic and divisive politics. You have been able to create a leadership that looks past party and political differences and moves you forward as a team. I commend you for your ability to mend fences and build bridges. I want to encourage you to continue on this path of consensus building, mutual respect, and decorum. 10 years into devolution, Kenya is a much transformed landscape with an amazing opportunity for rural economic revival and transformation. There is now economic life in rural areas. Some previously dead towns and market centers are beaming with the life after devolution. The prospect of Kenyans taking charge of their destiny and driving their own development is alive today because of devolution. A new middle class, whose members have not stepped into any major city in Kenya, is rising in the villages across Kenya, thanks to devolution. Devolution's success is a success story. It's a testimony to what we can achieve as a nation when we decide to pursue big dreams, no matter how daunting the obstacles may seem. As a country, we must congratulate ourselves for having endorsed devolution 13 years ago. And we must always remember it was not an easy victory. When we first unveiled devolution as a campaign platform in 2007 election, the proponents, including yours truly, were vilified and accused of planning to break Kenya up. We stood our ground and pushed devolution into every political conversation in Kenya, and we won. I am aware that even today, as you try to imagine and dream how best devolution can deliver more for our people, as you try to test and stretch the limits of devolution, you face skepticism and fears that you may be wrong and that it might destroy your political careers. My advice is that you dream on and soldier on. And I know that anybody who decides to go and run as a governor is himself already convinced that devolution can work. And I encourage you to remember the words of President Franklin Roosevelt. I quote, "The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Let us move forward with a strong and active faith," unquote. Devolution continues to have doubters, but devolution can no longer be a loser without the nation losing. Excellencies, at this forum, I have the warm feeling of a person among friends who think alike and have the same goals and aspirations. As far as devolution goes, my aspirations and those of the governors are aligned. We may have differed here and there about the management of our affairs at both the national and county levels. But when it comes to devolution, I believe our differences are only as to the method of attaining a goal. There has never been, and there shall never be, an argument between us about the goal. We all appreciate devolution. We all want devolution. In some counties, devolution was achieved in 10 years, what the national government was never able to achieve in 50 years. You know the challenges facing devolution. For instance, funding remains inadequate and its flow uneven and unpredictable. The controller of budget and central bank need to relook at the law. The County Allocation of Revenue Act, CARA, contains a disbursement schedule. And I was sitting next to the former governor, who is now the Minister for Finance, and I told him exactly the same thing. Therefore, the administrative step of Treasury writing a letter to CBK to release funds should not arise. CBK should implement CARA full stop. Bureaucracy at the Office of the Controller of Budget continues to hold back devolution. There's a worrying clash of vision and responsibility between county chief executives and the members of county assemblies. As the first port of call across the villages, MCAs have real concerns like remuneration and facilitation that ought to be addressed. That ought to be addressed in the interest of harmonious working relationship with the county dream bearers who are the governors. And you see the Nyani Aoni Kundule. Across the 47 counties, the wage bill has become uncontrollable and continues to eat into what should go into the development. Even more worrying is the continuing duplication of functions. More money continues to be spent at Afya House, Kilim House, and Maji House in Nairobi for the roles that are devolved. Yani aone kunduli. In the Finance Act 2023, the budget for health has grown by 32 billion shillings at the national level. Recurrent expenditure alone has increased by 17%, yet most of the health functions are devolved. Today, fertilizers are procured and distributed by the national government. Affordable housing is being conceptualized and implemented by the national government. The government wants to build markets and employ community health workers. All these are devolved functions whose money should be released to the counties. "10 years into devolution, this tug of war between the counties and the national government needs to come to an end. In this tug of war, the Commission of Revenue Allocation continues to be ignored, making revenue sharing between national and county governments and among counties uneven and more political than professional." Nyani aone kuduli. As we castigate the national government, let us worry over devolved corruption. Oversight seems concentrated at the national level, while the graft stalks devolution at every turn. The interplay between oversight institutions like the county assemblies, Auditor General, the Senate, and the investigative and prosecutorial arms is weak, and the institutions not working together. But I want to say that it's not only that the corruption has been devolved, corruption has also remained very big at the national level. So the national level has no business talking to you about devolved corruption. When assemblies and the Senate inquire into a matter, the best they can do is recommend investigation. When investigators complete their work, the best they can do is to recommend prosecution. And there is, of course, no guarantee that the courts will punish the wrongdoers. Let us address these man-made challenges once and for all, so that we can unleash the full transformative capacities of our counties. We need a constant and consistent monitoring of all laws governing devolution to ensure their implementation and to add statutes whenever they are needed. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we meet at a time our country is facing real grave threats. This is a reality check backed by government data. The economy is struggling. Our national currency is severely weakened. The shilling has fallen by 10% since March this year. Our people have been hit hard by punitive taxes and consequent rise in the cost of living. We have runaway unemployment. Our healthcare system is broken. We face challenges with food security at a time climate change is turning everything upside down. From farming to healthcare to provision of water and infrastructure, nothing is the same or predictable anymore. Unfortunately for governors, you are stationed where the desperation, the need, and the expectations are highest. That is, at the grassroots, where people want instant solutions. I believe that as a country, we are lucky to be going through these challenges in the era of devolution. I believe that if county governments were not here to absorb some of the shock and act as cushion, the economic and governance challenges Kenya is going through today would have overwhelmed and overrun the national government. To continue providing buffers for our country and respond to the cries of the people, counties need a tremendous amount of financial resources in a timely and predictable manner. The national government, therefore, needs to understand and appreciate counties as necessary partners in the journey for a successful Kenya. The problems and responsibilities the people and the counties face today demand that we reevaluate and strengthen our commitment to preserve the place of the county government and bestow it with the power, the authority, the responsibilities, and the revenues necessary to discharge those roles and meet expectations. In times like these, county government may be tempted to do what the national government is doing, which is to increase charges for services they provide to generate more revenue. And I was listening to the talk about its own revenue. I see it differently. I believe this is the time for county government to act compassionately and responsibly. The problems our people face today require that we invest within our means in programs that create jobs and put money into the people's pockets. Counties don't have to copy and paste what the national government is doing. I encourage you to be own models for innovation and creativity. Rather than extract more from the pockets of equally suffering masses, I encourage you to continue to provide communities and families with the tools they need to succeed so that they can in return finance counties without too much pain. Being on the ground, governors have no time to get into a lot of ideological debates that consume our politics in Nairobi. Counties should have no time for merely making commitments and announcements. Governors have to be practical. You will do well and set examples when you back up your pronouncements with concrete action at the level of policy and practice. I believe that the work that you do, if done well, will with time have a concrete impact on the debate at the national level. This is the time to provide record amounts of assistance to our farmers to enable them save us from the routines of famine, food imports, and food inflation. This is the time for financial inclusion programs and ensure the money reaches the intended recipients. This is the time to work on turning your towns into smart cities of tomorrow, equipped with world-class amenities. I encourage you to soldier on and double your efforts at light manufacturing and value addition as a way of generating revenue and putting money into people's pockets. With focus, you should be able to set up world-class investment and industrial regions along dedicated corridors of your counties to aid manufacturing. I want to encourage you to particularly promote labor-intensive manufacturing because it puts money into the people's pockets. And I'm talking to you as a manufacturing engineer. Put focus on building infrastructure, including roads, electricity, and water and farm irrigation. This will yield returns. We have to ensure that our policies are predictable and tax regimes stable. Ease of doing business in your counties must therefore be a prime concern. Investors need the assurance that the rules of engagement are the easiest that can be. Remove bureaucracy. With such clarity, you will be able to create employment opportunities, encourage enterprise, and to create a bigger job market for our youth, widening your base for revenue. I believe it is time, again within your means, to allocate some of the money from own revenue to a cash transfer program to help protect the poor at the grassroots. I want to encourage you to continue with cooperation between counties. At the same time, however, we need a competitive element among counties to prevent the temptation to just maintain the status quo. Let us compete even as you cooperate. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I want to disclose to you a reality slowly taking shape in our country, but which many of us, including the governors, may not notice. While national politicians may be getting all the attention, the action of translating policies into improvement of livelihoods is actually being determined by governors, county assemblies, and county governments. I see immense possibility for our county-driven growth and leadership in our country. I see potential for a county-driven quantum leap in our country. This hidden reality is not limited to one section of our region. The potential is unlimited. Be open to ideas, investments, and innovations. You may just be the team that put the country on the path to a reversible takeoff. I want to conclude by referring to what Governor Jonathan B. said, the host governor, that they are expecting bumper harvest in this region because they did mandamanos in the farms instead of doing the mandamanos on the streets, or carrying sufurias. I want to tell him that this katiba that we have is a product of mandamano. And I also want to remind that if mandamano can help families whose children were cheated or money being taken to Finland, there's nothing wrong with mandamano. What is wrong is police brutality. And finally, I want to tell a rogue ambassador, leave Kenyans alone. If mandamano can lead to a dialogue between Ichungwa and Kalonzo, everything is good with mandamano. Tell the rogue ambassador, Kenya is not United States. Kenya is not a colony of the United States. Keep your mouth shut when you hear. Otherwise, you will call for your recall back to your country. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause, please, for the former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Asante sana. Our guests would like now to welcome the Chair of the Council plus other governors for a photo session. But we are also going to have a gift courtesy of the Council of Governors Steering Committee that organized the Devolution Conference. So this photo is the Right Honorable Prime Minister and the 47 governors, those who were present. The next photo is going to be the Right Honorable Prime Minister and senators present. You've done it. Asante sana, asante sana. Oh, Governor Malombo was not caught in the photo. There you go. Asante sana. Next up, I'll call the senators who are present. The senators who are present to come for this photo with the Right Honorable former Prime Minister. Asante sana, governors. Thank you very much, governors. Senators, a photo with the senators. A photo with the senators. A photo with the senators. We'll also have a photo with deputy governors present and another one with members of the National Assembly who are present. Senators, Senator Mugeni, thank you. Thank you very much, senators. Next up, I want to call a photo with the deputy governors, led by the chair of the Deputy Governors Forum. Former Prime Minister Asante Sana, we want to take a photo with the deputy governors present. All the deputy governors present. Photo with the deputy governors present. A quick one, deputy governors, tafadhali. We want to have another one with members of the National Assembly who are here. Asante, asante. Asante sana. The Council of Governors has a gift for you, Right Honorable former Prime Minister. The Devolution Conference Steering Committee and the Council of Governors. Tafadhalini, tafadhalini, we have a guest. Excuse me. Former Prime Minister, please come to the stage. Please come to the stage. Mwalimu Bage, please help me. Former Prime Minister, please come to the stage. We have a photo and a gift for you. This is a gift from the Devolution Conference Steering Committee. We have a book on devolution. Governor Anne Waiguru, the chair of the Council of Governors, flanked by the vice chair, who is also the chair of the Devolution Steering Committee. And that other present as well. Asante sana. Asante sana. Our chief guest, we thank you very much for joining us. We'll be proceeding to lunch to my right. Ladies and gentlemen, our afternoon session begins in an hour's time after lunch. Lunch is served just like yesterday, delegates to the left and guests who have invitation cards to the right. And then we will be convening for our afternoon session, where we have several breakaway sessions. We have several breakaway sessions, 4 breakaway sessions. One breakaway session will be on agriculture, which will be in room number 3. Room number 1 will be hosting empowering youth for inclusive economic growth. Number 2 will be on natural resources. And this main plenary hall will be hosting a breakaway session on health service delivery. Health service delivery will be here. Number 1 will be on youth. Number 2 will be on natural resources. And number 3 will be on agriculture sector. Those are the 3 breakaway sessions. Please go to your session of interest in an hour's time after lunch. Enjoy your lunch, ladies and gentlemen. If you have lost any of your value,
acknowledge that these actions undermine the very essence of a devolution, the essence that places our counties at the heart of economic growth and empowerment. Let us begin.
Socio-economic development. Those of us in leadership positions have been entrusted by the people of Kenya with a singular task of delivering the promises embodied in Article 174 of the Constitution of Kenya. I now would like to take this opportunity to invite Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, to make his keynote address. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. The Chair of the Council of Governors, Governor Anne Waiguru, the Deputy